Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, hey, I'm going another installment, another example of how to train your eye to find books for resale, things that you might resell on Amazon or eBay. And today's example is on using like outdoor books and things that are like outdoor and wilderness kind of related, like camping, hiking, and I'll start there. I'm going to start with like hiking and then camping, and then we'll go into just more generic stuff like wilderness and outdoors and nature like that. And these are things that I find a lot of times in my sources, like if I'm at the thrift stores or library bookstore or something, that they're kind of sometimes are in their own section. Like it can be sometimes in like a travel section, or sometimes there actually will be like a outdoor activities section where, if the place is trying to, segregate books at all, right? And I find that a lot of times the books in this kind of genre, this topic area, are often overlooked, and they're often priced extremely cheap because they are overlooked. So I think another thing is this is a good example of something that in that kind of special interest activities, hobbies kind of thing that, if people that enjoy, like again, the hiking, camping, things of that nature, that it shows that kind of that special interest hobby, which can go over anything really, right? How it can be profitable if you find these books, and how there's so many of them that you can find. So I'm gonna break away. We're gonna go through using eBay sold comps to kind of learn, right? This is what I do to learn, to train my eye, to increase that knowledge base. So I'll go to eBay, we'll go down into books, we'll set some filters and just show, kind of what things are recurring. So go away and do that, and then we'll come back for a closing remarks. So see you soon. Okay, so let's start off from the eBay homepage, and let's go down into the categories, just, to find the books. Let's go down and find books and movies. We have to kind of drill down to books and magazines. Now, books one more time. So at this point, again, to search, you're kind of in the books, here's your breadcrumb showing you that you're kind of, in the books area. What I like to do is I like to come down here, and under all filters, this you can get to this a couple of different ways, but under all filters, I like to do show only, and things are running slow this morning. Sold items. Okay, so we're gonna do sold items, eBay books for sale. 3 million books showed up there. We're gonna go ahead and put our sort on by highest first. And now what I want to do is I want to start, let's look under topics. And what you find in topics, you can hit the see all, and there's tons of topics under here that you can sort by. But in this case, I'm looking for things like outdoorsy stuff, hiking, camping, things of that nature. So let's first off just go to hiking, and we'll turn hiking on and hit apply. So now we'll see that there's been 4,000, a little over 4,000 books that have sold with the topic of hiking. And I got them ranked by highest first. So let's just go by, and look at these. So, here's this number one book, it's $400 book on, the Stone Masters, California rock climbers in the 70s. I mean, climbing is definitely something, rock climbing, bouldering. These are something, anytime I see them, I've sold some in the past on, like in the Southeast, there's good climbing on all the sand mountains around, all the sandstone, different climbing routes, areas to climb in. But this would definitely be something that I would look at. So climbing, it's under kind of this hiking outdoorsy thing. I guess this is a popular book. There's the next ones are 200 something bucks. Here's Grand Canyoneering. That's kind of cool, going through, Slot Canyon, gorge kind of hiking. Good topic. There's bouldering. So again, some of these, it's funny too when you get into these filters, why some things like sculpture would show up under hiking. Um, John Muir Trail, kind of a photo book that, you know, okay. 7 Years in Tibet. I think this is, yeah, this one, it's kind of a classic, book. This looks like an early first edition, 1953, kind of interesting. And there's Mount Challenger hiker's map of North Cascades. So you're kind of getting a feel that sort of stuff is really good. Now, vintage High Sierra hiking guides. That's pretty cool. 11 of them. So they're running about $10 a piece. Sold them in there in a lot. Alaska Whitewater. That's pretty cool. Guide to rivers and creeks. Now, I think what's interesting about some things like this is how dated it can be. Right? There's sometimes vintage stuff. Like what that was here in this High Sierra hiking guides is good. Sometimes these trails don't change. Sometimes it's just people. These things could be out of print. This looks like a newer book on Alaska Whitewater. There's definitely, something that, some things can get dated and old and lose their value. So it's, again, just kind of training our eye on things that we would want to look for. That's kind of cool. Of Guide to Rivers and Creeks. Again, here's Catskill 67 Hiker's Guide. So what we're seeing under hiking is definitely, we're seeing anything with like hiking guides, guides to trails and areas. This looks like an older Guide to the White Mountains, um, natural history, Pacific Northwest. There's this actually, so anything hiking guides is looking really good. There's all the National Geographic maps, Pacific Crest. I guess this could be something, it's conceivable sometimes that you could run up on these at an estate sale, or somebody just had a bunch of them for a trip and donated them, and you could get, these National Geographic trail guides for, relatively cheap. That's something I could see happening. So, Grand Canyon loop hiking. So definitely what we're seeing on this is there's just some more High Sierras. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be looking for anything that's published by the High Sierra, any kind of hiking guide, climbing guide that gives, trail maps, that sort of thing. No matter the age, I'm going to look at it. Anything on bouldering and rock climbing. Sierra Club. I think this is, they have they do some really good outdoor guides, hiking guides. If I saw anything Sierra Club, I would want to look for it. Okay, Yosemite in the 60s. I mean, that looks pretty cool. 100 hikes of a lifetime. I like that. Hiking in the Wichitas. A couple of those sold. Hiking trails in the Smoky Mountains. So I think this is pretty good. You sometimes let's drill down to about page 5 on this, and then we're going to look for some of the other stuff like camping and things like that. Okay, there's this is like the Camino Trail, right? The Pilgrimage Trail. The what is it? The goes all through Spain. They have the markers all over Europe. You find them. This is the Camino Santiago Trail. It's just like look here. This is like more of this is a Sierra Club local Pennsylvania chapter publication for trails. So again, that hits trail maps, trail guides, local interest, and Sierra Club. So I've actually sold this one before in a signed state. They made this movie out of this Cheryl Strayed's book Wild, where she hiked the Pacific Coast Crest Trail. I've actually sold this in a signed state before, so that's one that's possible to find. So these are, since more of these National Geographic ones pop up, it's pretty nice. Okay, get some mushrooms. Again, it's funny sometimes how we got a hiking filter turned on, and you get something on mushrooms. So again, we're seeing these things, Arkansas hiking trails. It doesn't have to be just Big West. And, that's still 16, 17 bucks. If you can find this, a lot of times I find in these areas of, outdoors travel stuff, some of these guides, people put these in. I see them 50 cents, $1 a piece all the time. There's trails for SUVs, not necessarily hiking. So that's some good learning there. So let's change the topic, and let's see what camping brings up. Um, let's see if there's a camping right there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and turn the hiking. Turn it off. So we'll hit apply. So now we're changing it again. There's 6,000 things on. Let's see what the filters are. Camping and sold's all we've got turned on. So I have no idea why under camping I'm getting Percy Jackson books here. That's hilarious. All right, let's just go down. Foxfire books, complete set 1 to 12. It's hard to believe there's 12 of these in publication now. I find in my area these things are always overpriced. This is actually pretty good price for 12 of them. It's about 20 bucks a piece. I see in my areas when they put the Foxfire books out there that they'll want sometimes 10 bucks or more for each one. If you're selling just ones and twos, they're hard to sell, but man, in a lot, they can be good. So if you get them for the right price, it's always good ones to turn up. I do not understand camping showing all this Percy Jackson stuff. That's amazing to me. Smoke from 1,000 Campfires, signed book. I'm not familiar with that one, but it's kind of cool looking. Vintage Woodcraft. So that's actually an interesting from camping. You could go and call this like woodcraft or bushcraft. So let's just go over here and type in Woodcraft Books, and let's just see what that could get into some other things like you know not necessarily outdoorsy things, but carving and things of that nature. Let's turn sold on, um, and let's sort by the highest first. All right, there's a book of camping and woodcraft. This looks like a vintage book, 1906. A few of those. There's the one we saw. Camping and woodcraft. It's same. So yeah, so woodcraft's also getting into this like plane craft and so camping and woodcraft. So I think this vintage. What's interesting on this is some of this. You know, this is kind of easy to remember. Maybe looks like this one guy's publication here. This Horace Kephart is kind of popular, but he's if you see something that's enabled camping and woodcraft, there's multiple copies of that. There's stuff that's in the $30 range. Um, Lots of camping and woodcraft type things. So let's type in bushcraft. That gets kind of into what I would more backcountry stuff, which probably could lead you into some of the maybe like survival type stuff, right? Wilderness survival, and that's exactly what you see here is bushcraft. That's interesting that's $133. Feel God. More of the Foxfire books. There were 6 of them for 10 bucks. Yeah, okay. So we're seeing Australian bushcraft. I guess there was a series there, bushcraft 1 through there was up to 7. Those are Australian, bringing $20-$30 a piece. There's a forest, so it's like a French maybe. Jungle Camp Cookbook. I mean, if I saw that, I would have to check it out, right? For the picture on the thing. So it's pretty funny. Bushcraft box set. So I guess there's the 3 books in there. Australian bushcraft. So there's definitely something to another term on this. If you see
if you see something in wilderness survival and bushcraft, there's some decent books here. Big Book of Bushcraft. I've actually sold this one before. This exact one right here, this Richard Graves Bushcraft Serious Guide to Survival. I've actually sold that one in the past. So it definitely is something to, a key term that's a little bit easier maybe to remember, or um, get your eye trained. So, yeah, I think bushcraft's a good one. So, okay, let's go back here over to camping, see what else pops up. Something other than Percy Jackson books. It's crazy, that filter. Um, Special Forces Camp Manual. It's interesting. Uh, Boating, camping, bear hunting in Alaska. I guess outdoorsy stuff gets you into that. Let's go about 5 down and see what happens. 5 pages down. It is amazing to me that Percy Jackson is coming up on this. Okay. This is interesting. I've actually seen this in children's book sections. I just remember the cover, and I have not picked this up. But this Golden Book of Camping, 1971. They probably have multiple copies of this, but that's definitely something to check out. Let's just go check out what Golden Book of Camping. This is kind of rabbit hole that when you're doing stuff right, you can. That is a really good one. Look at that. There's looks like that was maybe another edition of it, but you're seeing 30, $40, $25, $20. I have seen that and not picked it up. There's one that's ratted out that's $20. So that'll definitely be something, that I'll be able to remember in this genre, this Golden Book of Camping. That's kind of cool. So um, let's go see if there's anything else that jumps out. Denali Park hiking camping. So I might put that in there. Snowwalker's Companion. So I think what you're getting into this is, look here, even Dutch oven cooking, right? When you're camping, you got to use your Dutch oven. I think the thing is that you're seeing in this is a little bit of you know specialty items. This is it's kind of that we're in that genre, but it's of camping. But we're talking about the kind of specialty, everything from Dutch ovens to wilderness survival to, um, you know, wow, getting into some of the nudist camps. Like, not exactly what you would think with camping, but that's kind of funny. Not tying, that's good for climbing. So you get the idea on some of that. Let's go back to our topic list, and let's do one more. Let's see if they've got anything on, like, wilderness survival. Let's just go down here and see what they say. This might be, there's wilderness. Let's just check that. All right, 2,700 books sold that had that topic of wilderness. So I've got, the only filter I've got applied is topic wilderness and sold items. So um, wilderness, kind of funny, Little House on the Prairie come into that. Okay, Footprints in the Wilderness: History of the Lost Roads Mines. So that's wouldn't have put that in like wilderness, but even though it's that in the title, but that would be a weird book that I would look for. So okay, bouldering. We've already got some of that. Um, let's see. There's this Footprints in the Wilderness again about this mines. You know, okay, fly fishing. It's a topic. So see what you see is in all this wilderness outdoorsy stuff. You see these tangential things, right? It kind of gets you into this, to learn kind of like these, the hobbies or pastimes that are this outdoor related stuff. This is pretty cool. They're autographed. Anna La Bastille Woodswoman. So let's just see if those are not signed. What Um, let's go back to this one. All right, what was that? That was called La Bastille. Is that? Let's just see if some of hers are not signed. Okay, they're out of print books. There's one sold for $100. I've never seen these, but Woods Woman. There's multiple ones. Okay, there's an original one for like $22. So yeah, you see something on with Woods Woman that there's some potential there. Some of these are only $4 or $5, but looks like the really good ones are these the Woods Woman like 1 through 4. So it's kind of you got to drill down sometimes. This Footprints in the Wilderness showing up a lot. Um, let's just go down and get more Foxfire. Okay, so this is interesting segue to, this one is Elmer Keith life story. But what I see from the title, it's something here when it says Hunter, and then I'm looking here at the uh, subtitle on the book itself, Big Game Hunter. That's regardless of what may like it or not like it, big game hunting, and some of this is turn of the century, like 19th century, 1900 type things. Big game hunting books. Some of these, where they were hunting, ivory, hunting tigers and lions. Some of that it's a niche market that I found that sells books on that subject sell pretty good. Um, okay, let's see here. Kind of going down. It's interesting. Table book from Colorado. These sort of things are hit and miss. Sometimes they're awesome. Sometimes they're not. Okay, we're picking up that the Anne LaBastille's book there. So you kind of get the idea of some of the tangential things and how you go about looking at it. Let's drill down one more time. Again, some of this stuff I have no idea why. I'm getting, I guess, it's the Dungeons and Dragons Wilderness Survival Guide. Crazy tangent there, but anytime I see these Dungeons and Dragons guidebooks, players handbooks, Dungeon Master Guide, if I can get them at the good price, I'll pick them up, even if it's the old ones, right? The old system, people like to collect them. They like to play on the old. It's kind of fun. So, um, yeah, okay. I run across these box sets for Little House on the Prairie every now and then. So not what I was expecting in the wilderness section, but hey, you learn all the time on different things, right? Um, so that's kind of the we'll stop there and kind of close out. But hopefully that gives you an idea. On we talk about hiking, camping, nature. I guess we didn't really do nature, but I think that's probably a topic too. We could hit it. Well, let's just while we're doing it, we'll just hit it real quick. Let's go down. I think there's probably something on nature. Yeah, there's one that's nature. Okay, you could hit that, and there's probably even something even more generic, like there's here's outdoor activities. Okay, we'll hit both of those. Apply, see kind of what we get. Yeah, okay, 49,000. Dang, I don't know which one that one pulled the most in, but Squallywood, Squaw Valley's most exposed lines. Okay, for outdoors, you get into skiing. Um, that's I've never seen that book, but that would be one that would catch your eye with that title, right? Okay, river runs through it. They made a good movie of that. There's a first edition. Um, why that one's showing up? Okay, these that's interesting. These DK Eyewitness books, 113 of them for $350. So they're only selling with free shipping about $3 each. Um, let's see what's coming into some of this. You just never know what's gonna bonsai. This one's a little more, so much more generic, right? Like you said, there's 33,000 of them. So the golden age of waterfowling. So that's kind of getting into that hunting, um, you know, kind of outdoor sports thing. I would say here in closing, like I think anything you find with it's got something with John Muir, I think with the parks, national parks, it's a good one. So okay, we'll close there and do a recap.
All right, so that was it. That was the hiking, camping, outdoorsy kind of train your eye, learn book learning, learn what to source to catch your attention and buy to make good profit. And what you saw on that was that hopefully was there were several topics under, definitely came up with like anything with rock climbing, bouldering, something like that. On the hiking side, anything with like hiking guides, trails, even if you run across some of like the National Geographic maps and things of that nature. And it got very tangential, right? Once we got into camping, you see stuff on woodcraft and bushcraft and wilderness survival. And so you can see how it even gets into the tangential type topics like fly fishing or, big game hunting and things like that. So you can see how when you start to go down this rabbit hole, how, you pull that thread and it just keeps coming out. But that's how you learn, right? And in that, I saw some, like the book on bushcraft that I've sold before. And, some of these are not going to be huge, not every book you find is going to be $100 winner, but you can get a lot of these books. These are books that you can find to flip for 20 or 30 bucks. And if you're getting them for 50 cents or $1, that's really good return on investment. So anyway, hopefully you like this format. You enjoy this kind of train your eye, learn kind of topic. If you hadn't subscribed, do it. Hit the subscribe button, likes, help feed that YouTube engine. And you guys keep watching. We'll keep doing it. So in the meantime, just remember, see cool, buy cool, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.